Hey guys, Mike here, back in the aquarium lab. Today I got a bunch of really cool stuff to share with you, including some plants that I ended up getting actually kind of like a few weeks ago. I was sitting on a little bit of footage. The plants themselves that I'm going to share with you are actually already in the tanks that I set up, so no need to get confused. But there's some really cool plants and I want to share them with you, as well as talk about how to budget a new aquarium setup. That's something that I've had to be doing a lot of lately, and I have a couple tips that I think might help you guys out. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first things first, we have a My Aquarium box here that I'm going to be opening up and showing you guys. This is actually January's box. I'm a little late to the game, but I was sent this from the guys over at My Aquarium Box. That is Mike from Mass Aquariums and Greg Jones. If you haven't checked their channels out, do so. There will be links in the description, as well as a link to get a My Aquarium box if you decide that you want one after I show it to you. I'm always down to highlight stuff from entrepreneurs, especially that are in the aquarium realm. I think it's a super important piece of the puzzle here when it comes to getting aquarium stuff more mainstream. That's like my main thing that I want for this hobby, or whatever you want to call it, this obsession, is I want to continue to help be a part of transforming the notion that, you know, aquariums don't have to be blue gravel and goldfish. You know, nothing against goldfish. Goldfish are great. But you know what I'm talking about. So I'm glad to support these guys. Let's go ahead and open up this box. Corey over at Aquarium Co-op. Hey Corey, what's going on? He already opened up this box, and so if you guys have seen that video, then you already know what's in here. But just in case you haven't, and you also haven't heard of My Aquarium Box, even though I'm sure a lot of you guys have, we're gonna go ahead and open this up now and see what we got. So I do have an idea of what's in the January box. First off, we have a bunch of pamphlets, and it looks like informational stuff about My Aquarium Box, as well as, you know, some advertisements and some coupons for some other companies. We'll get to that in a second. Let's see, we have a My Aquarium Box towel. Towels are a must in your fish room. I go through like a million of them. Having extra stuff, even if it is just a small towel, can make a big difference, especially when, you know, you pull your arm out of a tank and you're all wet, and you know how that goes. So let's see what else we have. We got a, oh, okay, cool. So we have a screw cumber. I love that name. That's hilarious. But it looks like, so this is just like a stainless steel screw type thing that you would go around, you know, like cucumbers or whatever you're feeding, like plecos or shrimp, and that's going to help that that vegetable or whatever sink to the bottom of the tank better. So that's cool. I mean, if anything, I don't have any plecos. I do have some shrimp now, that one of the tanks that I haven't showed you guys yet. But if I can't find a use for this, I could probably turn that into a wine bottle opener if I'm trying to pop bottles. Let's see, we also have some algae wafers in here, a little promo size deal of them. The shrimp will also appreciate those. And we have some tropical flakes. Very cool. Can always use more flakes. And let's open this guy up. I need two hands. This isn't easy, guys. Holding a camera and doing anything is difficult. All right, let's try, and there we go. So this is looking like a little shrimp cave. Very cool. I like that dark color. Should blend in well. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, more stuff. So it looks like we got a big bag of carbon. If you're into using carbon, that's a pretty decent amount. Very nice. That'll be a good gift for my friend. I know he uses carbon. And then, oh, we got a nylon filter bag. Okay, so you could put your carbon in the nylon filter bag if you wanted, or you could use these. You guys know that I like to put gravel in nylon bags and use that as a method for increasing my substrate depth without having to, or rather to make hills with my substrate. So that would be a good use for that as well. And then I think we're good. And we also have a bunch of blue packing material. Very nice. And then these cards that we got in the box highlight, you know, all the things that are in the box, show their retail value, so you can see, you know, just how much stuff you're getting for, you know, the amount that you paid for the box, which I'm pretty sure is like $24.99. So in this particular one, you know, we got $41 roughly of stuff in the box. Pretty cool. There's also another card in here that shows you how you can win a mega box. So that's like a My Aquarium box on steroids, probably a ton of more stuff in it. And all you have to do is film an unboxing video like I'm doing right now. So hopefully I'm entered into that and I could get a mega box. That sounds pretty cool. It looks like you can get some other, you know, some more substantial stuff like pumps, even a light, a canister filter. That's pretty cool. The official rules for how to do all this stuff, if you're interested, can be found on their website. I'll put a link down in the description, of course, so you can check it out if you're interested. So, I mean, my aquarium box, you know, I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's something that could be really, really cool for a beginner. You know, maybe somebody that's not super familiar with all, you know, the different products there are for this, you know, hobby. And, you know, because there's a lot of them. So, you know, and maybe that person doesn't have, you know, a good resource like a friend that's in the hobby. That's how a lot of us get into it. We have, you know, a buddy or whoever that can, you know, help advise us on stuff, you know, what products are cool. So this is, you know, could be a really good option for you. So if you haven't heard of my aquarium box before and you want to check it out, go check it out. Again, just in case I didn't mention it before, this is a, you know, a routine service. You get a box every month with this stuff in it. You pay, you know, one price per month and you get a new box every month with new stuff in it. And like I said, this was January. I was a little late, but February's box and the next month, you know, they're all going to have different stuff in it. Obviously, my aquarium box, you can get it in the United States. They're now shipping to the UK, which they wanted me to mention, and they're working on getting Canada, hopefully, in the spring of 2017. There's also a My Aquarium box for saltwater. If you happen to somehow end up watching this video, which is, you know, on a channel all about freshwater tanks, if you're into saltwater, there is a box for you too as well. I'm definitely going to be trying out this shrimp cave. I think the shrimp that I have might need it to hide from a predator that might be in the tank. Not trying to give too much away, but if you go to my Instagram, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So pretty cool. Thanks guys for sending that to me. Appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into the next thing we're doing today. I also got in a bunch of new plants today, starting off here with some Anubius Nana Petite, which is going to be a main plant in the shrimp tank as well as the other tank that I'm setting up. Very small leaves on this guy, cool plant. And then next to it here in the pots, we have some more Anubius. This is the Nana, so obviously a lot bigger than the Petite stuff right here. This stuff looks really good. And then we have some Anubius congensis, which is a narrow leaf version of Anubius. There's a bunch of different narrow leaf subspecies and whatnot for Anubius, but I got, what did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. This is the mini version of the congensis. I've never had this version or the, you know, the non-mini version of it, so I'm excited to check those out. Let's pop one of these open. So check that out. That's a really cool plant. Very dark green leaves. It's lighter on the underside here. But I'm excited to put I don't really know what tank I'm going to be putting all of this Anubius in. I'm going to have a lot of room in both of the new tanks that I set up, but some of them might make their way into the 125 or the 90. I'm not sure. I mean, this was like, you know, an $8 plant. So, and there's quite a bit of it in here. I'll just pop this out of the pot and then attach that to a rock or some driftwood, or, you know, depending on what tank I'm going to put it in, I'll be limited to what I can attach it to. But I'm really looking forward to those. They got, you know, some good rhizome on them. You can see it popping through the pot there. And then I also got some Echinodorus parviflorus, which is basically, it's kind of like a dwarf sword. This is supposed to only get like 6 to 8 inches long, each one of the leaves. And this is a really nice plant. These came in really, really good root system on both of these. And they just look really, really healthy. Bright green leaves. Not sure where I'm going to put these as well, but that's part of the fun. All of these plants came in from eBay, and I'll tell you what, the seller that sold me this Anubius is definitely gonna get some rebuys from me. This stuff just looks perfect, and this is some good quantities of this stuff too for what I paid. I mean, just look at all of that. $8. That's totally worth it. But you know, this is $100 worth of plants that you're looking at right here. So you can see how quickly the cost of setting up a fully stocked planted tank can be, especially if you're overpaying for plants, which I don't feel like I did this time with this purchase, but I think it's one of those things that limits a lot of people and maybe discourages newcomers to the hobby, because when they're setting their budget for their tank, you know, they might be only able to spend $100, $200 on everything. And that, you know, if you're spending a lot on the hard goods for your tank, you know, the tank itself, you know, the hardscape and some of the other things, it can get a little discouraging. So my advice is to try and get as big of a budget as you can for the plants, and do your best to save as much money as you can with, you know, the main tank itself and the other things that you need, your heater, your filter, all those other things. Make stuff if you can. Do-it-yourself projects do help out a lot. But when you're trying to set up a show tank, a tank that's going in your house that you want to be able to show off to people, it can be tough to get away with some of the projects, like a do-it-yourself filter that's not a canister filter or anything, things that are going to go in your tank. You want to limit what you put in your tank. You obviously don't want to have a giant power head filter that has, you know, a water bottle attached to it. So you're gonna want to try and save as much money as you can in that department. Going used is something that I think a lot of people don't want to do, but it can really help out a lot. Get your tank off of Craigslist. I was able to get my 90-gallon tank over here on Craigslist for $60. So you can see that right there saved me a ton of money, and it enabled me to spend a lot more of the budget I had on plants. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I need to get in here and trim some of my Pinnatifida. It's getting a little tall. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.